The frozen air hung heavy over the Siberian wilderness. Snow crunched underfoot, the only sound in the vast expanse of white. Yuri Trush and his companions, their breath-forming icy plumes, approached the dilapidated cabin. The silence, usually a comfort in the taiga, was unsettling. This was Vladimir Markov's home. He had been missing for 5 days. The men exchanged uneasy glances. The cabin door hung precariously from one hinge, a testament to the brutality that had unfolded within. The interior was a scene of utter chaos. Furniture lay shattered, splintered remains scattered across the floor. Deep gouges scarred the walls, hinting at a struggle of terrifying proportions. A chill snaked down Trush's spine. The metallic scent of blood hung heavy in the air, mixing with the musty odor of the cabin. As Trush surveyed the carnage, his gaze fell upon a single mud-caked boot lying amidst the debris. It was Markov. He knew then that something truly horrific had transpired within those wooden walls. The men fanned out, their eyes scanning the snow for any sign, any clue. Their search had only just begun. Vladimir Markov was a force of nature, a bear of a man forged from the harsh realities of life in the Siberian wilderness. He was a former soldier, his body hardened by years of discipline and rigorous training. His hands, calloused and strong, were as familiar with the weight of a rifle as they were with the gentle caress of the forest he called home. Markov was a man of simple pleasures. He found solace in the solitude of the taiga, his spirit resonating with the heartbeat of the wild. Hunting was more than just a pastime for him. It was an integral part of his being, a way of life passed down through generations. He moved through the forest with an innate understanding, a silent predator in his element. His cabin, nestled deep within the dense embrace of the taiga, was his sanctuary. He lived off the land, sustaining himself with the bounty of the forest. But the wild, as Markov knew all too well, was a double-edged sword. The Siberian taiga, a vast and unforgiving expanse of coniferous forest, held an ancient magic. It was a realm of towering pines and whispering firs, their branches heavy with snow. The air, crisp and biting, carried the scent of pine needles and damp earth. Beneath the pristine blanket of white lay a world teeming with life, a delicate balance of predator and prey. For centuries, the indigenous people of the region had coexisted with the taiga, their lives intricately intertwined with its rhythms. They spoke of spirits that dwelled within the trees, of ancient beings that watched from the shadows. Their legends whispered of the Amur tiger, the king of the taiga, a creature of immense power and unpredictable fury. These were more than just stories. They were a reflection of the taiga's untamed nature. The taiga demanded respect, and those who dared to venture into its depths did so at their own peril. The first sign was the boar, a magnificent beast felled with a single well-placed shot. It was a prize, a testament to Markov's skill as a hunter. Dragging the carcass back to his cabin, Markov felt a surge of pride. He would eat well tonight, but as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows through the trees, a sense of unease settled over Markov. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The hairs on the back of his neck prickled with a primal instinct, a warning that danger lurked nearby. As darkness enveloped the taiga, Markov stepped outside his cabin, his rifle held at the ready. The forest was alive with sounds, the creaking of trees, the distant howl of a wolf. Then he saw it. 2 points of yellow fire pierced the darkness, burning with an unnerving intensity. His heart pounding in his chest, Markov raised his rifle and fired a shot into the darkness. The creature, startled by the sudden burst of noise, vanished into the trees. The following morning, the rising sun painted the snow-covered landscape in hues of pink and gold. The events of the previous night hung over Markov like a shroud. He tried to convince himself that it was just his imagination, a trick of the light and shadows, but deep down a primal fear gnawed at his gut. As he stepped outside, his gaze was drawn to the ground. Large, unmistakable tracks marred the pristine snow. They were fresh, the paw prints deeply imprinted in the newly fallen snow. They circled his cabin, silent sentinels of a predator stalking its prey. These were the tracks of a Siberian tiger, the largest cat in the world. Terror, cold and sharp, pierced through Markov's resolve. He had heard the whispers, the legends of the Amur tiger, a creature of immense power and ferocity. They were said to be the guardians of the taiga, fiercely territorial and unforgiving to those who dared to trespass on their domain. Markov felt a chill run down his spine. He was not alone in the wilderness. He knew he had to act fast. Section 6. The Hunt for Vladimir Markov. Days turned into a blur of anxiety and dread as the news of Markov's disappearance spread through the small community. A search party was hastily assembled, a ragtag group of hardened men and women, their faces etched with concern and grim determination. They knew the unforgiving nature of the taiga, knew that time was of the essence. Yuri Trush, a seasoned hunter and a close friend of Markov's, led the search. His heart ached for his missing comrade, but he pushed his emotions aside, focusing on the task at hand. They scoured the dense undergrowth, their voices echoing through the silent trees, their calls of Markov's name unanswered. The forest, usually alive with the sounds of bird song and the rustling of small creatures, was eerily quiet. It was as if the taiga itself was holding its breath, shrouding Markov's fate in a cloak of mystery. The search party pressed on, their hope dwindling with each passing hour. The discovery of Markov's dog, whimpering and wounded, offered a glimmer of hope. Section 7. A Trail of Blood and Terror. The clearing was a gruesome tableau. Scraps of clothing, torn and blood-stained, lay scattered on the ground like macabre confetti. The snow, once pristine, was stained crimson, a chilling testament to the violence that had unfolded. The air was thick with the metallic scent of blood, attracting a murder of crows that circled overhead, their raucous cries adding to the eerie atmosphere. Trush, his face pale with dread, dropped to his knees examining the ground. The tracks were unmistakable large feline prints pressed deep into the thawing earth. They were tiger tracks, and they led away from the clearing deeper into the heart of the taiga. As the search party followed the trail of blood and terror, they stumbled upon a sight that made their blood run cold. There, lying amidst a tangle of broken branches and crimson-stained snow, was Markov's rifle. Section 8. The Tiger's Vengeance. The search continued for days, but the taiga held its secrets close. The men found more signs of the taiga, scat, scratched trees, the remains of prey, but no sign of Markov. The evidence painted a grim picture. The tiger had stalked Markov, toying with him, asserting its dominance over the domain it considered its own. The local Evenki people, who had lived in harmony with the taiga for centuries, believed that the taiga had exacted revenge upon Markov. They whispered of the creature's spirit, its rage at having its prey stolen. The boar, they said, had been a gift from the forest, a test of Markov's respect for the delicate balance of nature. By claiming it for himself, Markov had angered the spirits of the taiga, and they had unleashed their wrath upon him. Whether or not one believed in the supernatural, the locals' interpretation of the events carried a chilling resonance. Section 9. Legacy of Fear. The search for Vladimir Markov was eventually called off, the unforgiving Siberian winter closing in, burying the last vestiges of the tragedy under a blanket of snow. The taiga, as if satisfied with its retribution, retreated into a cold silence, taking its secrets with it. The story of Vladimir Markov became a cautionary tale, whispered around campfires and recounted in hushed tones. It served as a reminder of the raw power of the natural world, the unpredictable nature of the wild, and the importance of respecting the delicate balance that existed between man and nature. The taiga was never found, but its presence lingered, a phantom menace lurking in the shadows of the taiga. And so the legend of the Siberian tiger's revenge lived on, a chilling testament to the power of nature and the consequences of disrespecting its dominion.